Rain splashed against the cafe windows as Sophie raised her voice. "Excuse me, can you watch where you're going?" she snapped, glaring at the woman who had just bumped her table. Coffee sloshed over the edge of her cup, a few drops hitting her designer purse. The woman, middle-aged, wearing a faded blue coat and carrying 2 grocery bags, flinched. "I'm so sorry, dear. I didn't see your bag there," she said softly, bending slightly as if to clean the spill. Sophie scoffed. "Forget it. Maybe next time you should pay attention before walking into people." Across the table, Sophie's best friend Maya frowned. "Soph, she said she's sorry. It's not that deep." Sophie leaned back, flipping her hair. "Oh, come on. Look at her. She probably doesn't even know what a decent handbag looks like. I swear, some people have no class." The older woman straightened up, her hands trembling. "I'll just sit somewhere else." As she walked away, Sophie rolled her eyes. "Good idea." Maya shook her head. "You didn't have to say that." Sophie waved dismissively. "Please. People like her need to learn boundaries." She sipped her latte, pretending not to notice the disapproving looks from nearby tables. The older woman sat quietly in a corner, staring out the window. For a brief second, Sophie felt a strange pang in her chest, but quickly brushed it off. She had no time for guilt. Later that evening, Sophie was on her couch when her phone buzzed. It was Ethan, her boyfriend of 6 months. "Hey, babe," he said over the call, sounding cheerful. "Are you free tomorrow night?" "I want you to meet someone special." Sophie smiled. "Finally, I get to meet your best friend?" He laughed. "Even better, my mom." Her eyes lit up. "Oh, about time. I've been dying to meet her. What should I bring?" "Just bring yourself," he said warmly. "She's really excited to meet you." After hanging up, Sophie ran to her mirror, inspecting her reflection. "His mom," she murmured with a grin. "This is my moment." The next evening, Sophie dressed to impress. White blouse, diamond earrings, and a hint of red lipstick. She rehearsed her charm in the mirror before driving to Ethan's house. When she knocked, the door creaked open. "Oh my God!" Sophie froze. Standing there, smiling gently, was the same woman from the cafe. The one she'd mocked. The one she'd humiliated. "Hello, dear," the woman said softly, her eyes flickering with quiet recognition. "You must be Sophie." Sophie's throat went dry. "You're Ethan's mother?" Before she could process it, Ethan appeared behind her. "Hey, you made it!" He hugged her quickly, completely unaware of the tension. "Mom, this is Sophie." "Sophie, meet my mom, Mrs. Hale." Mrs. Hale extended a hand. "It's lovely to meet you properly." Sophie hesitated before shaking it. You too." Inside, the atmosphere felt heavy despite Mrs. Hale's warmth. Sophie smiled stiffly through small talk, her heart pounding. Every glance from Mrs. Hale reminded her of that cruel moment at the cafe. During dinner, Ethan chatted happily about his work. "Mom raised me alone," he said proudly. "She's the strongest person I know." Sophie tried to smile, guilt twisting inside her. She avoided eye contact, but Mrs. Hale remained graceful. "Thank you, sweetheart," she said. "But raising you was easy. You were always kind." Sophie's fork shook in her hand. She could barely eat. The weight of her earlier words echoed in her mind. Some people have no class. After dinner, Ethan got up to take a call outside. Silence filled the room. Sophie finally whispered, "Mrs. Hale, about yesterday at the cafe." Mrs. Hale raised a hand gently. "It's all right, dear. I knew you didn't recognize me, but words, they can still hurt, even when we don't mean them to." Sophie's eyes watered. "I was awful to you. You didn't deserve that." The older woman smiled sadly. "I forgave you the moment it happened, but I hope you learned something from it." Ethan stepped back inside, confusion on his face. "Learned something? What's going on?" Mrs. Hale sighed. "It's not my place to say." Sophie swallowed hard. "Ethan, I met your mom yesterday. At the cafe, she bumped into me, and I said some terrible things." Ethan's expression fell. "You what?" "I didn't know," Sophie stammered. "I swear I didn't know it was her." "But that's the point," he cut in sharply. "You didn't know her, and you still treated her like that." Tears filled her eyes. "Ethan, please." I'm sorry. He stood up, jaw tight. If you can talk like that to a stranger, what happens when it's someone I care about? Sophie reached out, but he stepped back. I need time to think. He turned and walked out. The next week was brutal. Sophie called, texted, even drove past his place once, but Ethan didn't respond. Every night she replayed the scene in her head, the hurt in his eyes, the disappointment. One Saturday morning, Sophie stood outside a small flower shop. The sign read Hale's Blossoms. Through the window, she saw Mrs. Hale arranging flowers with a gentle smile. Sophie took a deep breath and stepped inside. Mrs. Hale looked up. Sophie? I came to apologize, Sophie said quietly, and to help, if you'll let me. The woman studied her for a moment before nodding. You can start by trimming those roses. Hours passed. Sophie worked silently beside her, learning how to wrap bouquets and arrange petals. For the first time, she felt peace instead of pride. At closing time, Mrs. Hale spoke softly. You remind me of myself when I was younger. I thought being strong meant being perfect, but real strength is admitting when you're wrong. Sophie smiled faintly. Thank you for giving me another chance. Just then, the bell above the door rang. Ethan stepped inside, eyes widening as he saw Sophie behind the counter. Mom said she needed help, he said slowly. I didn't expect it to be you. I wanted to make things right, Sophie said. I don't care if you forgive me, Ethan. I just needed your mom to know I'm not that person anymore. He looked between them, emotion softening his expression. You really did all this? Mrs. Hale smiled. She's been helping all day, and she's good at it. Ethan exhaled deeply, walking closer. Maybe you deserve another chance, too. Sophie's eyes glistened. I'm not asking for perfection, just the chance to do better. He took her hand. That's all I ever wanted. Mrs. Hale handed Sophie a single white lily. For peace, she said gently. Sophie looked at it, then at Ethan. Your mom's amazing. I know, Ethan said, smiling. Outside the shop, as the sun dipped low, Sophie glanced at the flower in her hand and whispered, Never again will I judge someone by how they look. Kindness costs nothing, but it can change everything. Don't let pride blind you to someone's worth. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories like this one. And remember, treat everyone with respect. You never know who they really are.